Hello, this is Jason Franklin coming to you from Austin, Texas, and I'm here to go over a few articles in the news with you today. So let's begin. First article I have for you is from the Daily Caller, and it's called Obama Administration Bans Import of Popular Russian Firearms. Now, the article is basically saying that the president signs Executive Order 13661, which basically allows for the sanction of a particular Russian company called Kalichnikov. Now, if you don't know Kalichnikov, they're famous for their AK-47s, and they also make shotguns and other rifle variants that are very popular over here in the States. So basically, the president is banning the importation of these firearms. Now, this is very bad, and it borders on a breach of the Second Amendment of the Bill of Rights of the Constitution, which states a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. So, by President Obama doing this with his executive orders, which he promised not to legislate through executive orders in his 2008 campaign, obviously breaking it. Sounds a lot like an infringement on my right to keep and bear arms. So that's all I have to say on that statement. But while I'm on the subject of executive orders, I'd like to go over all of the martial law executive orders that are on the books right now. Now, Obama didn't sign all of these, but various presidents since the 60s have been signing them. And so I'll go over them with you right now. Okay, Executive Order 10,990 allows the government to take over all modes of transportation and control of highways and seaports. Executive Order 10,995 allows the government to seize and control the communication media. So in an emergency, no more Fox News, no more MSNBC. Well, rather, they're not going to be disbanded. They're going to just spit the government line, what they want you to hear. And nothing but that. And all the shows that they don't like are just going to be totally done away with. Executive Order 10,997 allows the government to take over all electrical power, gas, petroleum, fuels, and minerals. So that's a giant power grab. Executive Order 10,998 allows the government to take over all resources and farms. Executive Order 11,000 allows the government to mobilize civilians into work brigades under government supervision. That's your FEMA camp. That's your Soviet gulag. Oh, didn't know that was happening, did you? Executive Order 11,001 allows the government to take over all health, education, and welfare functions. Basically, they already done that with Obamacare, but whatevs. Executive Order 11,002 designates the Postmaster General to operate a national registration of all persons. So basically, that's outside of the census. They just want to keep track of you at all times. Want to control you. Executive Order 11,003 allows the government to take over all airports and aircraft, including commercial aircraft. And they've already been doing this. That's why if you go off course, they'll just send up fighter jets to come see why you're off course if you don't respond to their communications. Executive Order 11,004 allows the Housing and Finance Authority to relocate communities, build new housing with public funds, designate areas to be abandoned, and establish new locations for populations. That's also part of, being in the FEMA camp. Executive Order 11,005 allows the government to take over railroads, inland waterways, and public storage facilities. So basically, they just want total control. Executive Order 11,051 specifies the responsibility of the Office of Emergency Planning and gives authorization to put all executive orders into effect in time of increased international tensions and economic or financial crisis. That's for the economic collapse coming up. So they'll be able to do all of the aforementioned executive orders and the ones that I'm about to mention right here. Alright. Executive Order 11,310 grants authority to the Department of Justice to enforce the plans set out in executive orders to institute industrial support to establish judicial and legislative liaison to control all aliens and operate penal and correctional institutions, and to advise and assist the president. That's your FEMA camp again. Your gulag. Your concentration camp, if you will. Executive Order 11,049 assigns emergency preparedness functions to federal departments and agencies, consolidating 21 operative executive orders issued over a 15-year period. Alright, so that's another part of them being able to use all the executive orders at once in a time of crisis or perceived crisis or whatever they say is a crisis. Executive Order 11,921 allows the Federal Emergency Preparedness Agency to develop plans to establish control over the mechanisms of production and distribution of energy sources, wages, salaries, credit, and the flow of money in U.S. financial institution in any undefined national emergency. It also provides that when a state of emergency is declared by the President, Congress cannot review the action for 6 months. The Federal Emergency Management Agency, that's FEMA, has broad powers in every aspect of the nation. So basically, that's the government being able to take your money in the event of an emergency. And also, that's your bank holiday for when the economy collapses. And that, and Congress can't review any action that the president takes during an emergency for 6 months. This is bad. And this has been on the books going on, well, I don't want to tell you wrong, but it's been on the books even before Clinton. So they've been prepared for this a long time. So that's the video. Hope it's long enough for you. Have a good time and be safe. This is Jason broadcasting from Austin, Texas. Bye.